And we're hot. We're live. Special guest today. Per usual, Mason is here hanging out. And per usual, I have to clean up before we get anything done. But we're going to work on a 268 tonight. We tear apart a 268 just for the heck of it because really we have nothing better to do. So we were actually just discussing this 394 head that I was messing around with the other day. And I'm going to basically put this out in the shed and store it. Piston rings. Put that in the shed. And what I do need to do is... Right, I was actually showing how the block was cracked. The ears are actually cracked on that, so... So I'm going to put this away and store it. And now I need to bring everybody up on the other phone so we can see what people are saying. Monitor comments in real time. If anybody's watching this later, I highly recommend that you watch it live. It's much more fun. So you can heckle Mason here. It's a whole lot more fun to do that live.
I'm about as live as it gets right now. You're getting faster than the camera.
Alright, James Faust is here. Fred's here. Vince. Darwin Awards website, always a good read and laugh. Oh man, yeah, oh dear. Alright, so we're going to put this stuff, actually put that over there on that bench, pretty much anywhere. A little bit of cleanup. Mike, how are you?
That's a big socket.
Yeah.
What clutch were you using this on?
That's just an automotive piece, but I'd love to have a 36 also. I don't have a 36.
What is that for? Wheel bearing? Or nuts?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, yeah.
Holy shit.
What?
This isn't nice.
That one's okay. I have some nicer ones. Yeah.
Oh, it's really expensive. Holy shit. Where do you find that?
I get all kinds of goodies, you know.
Oh, man.
I have all the goodies. All the goodies. Where's the garbage? Let's put
eBay
stuff in. eBay. It's actually something they picked up years ago at a like an airplane manufacturer auction. Down in Norwalk, they had all kind. I mean, they had granite surface plates that were, you know, plus or minus a 10,000th of an inch across the whole surface.
So you get flat sand.
So you could flat sand anything, and they had granite surface plates that were just beautiful, and they were going for stupid cheap, and I didn't think. Got a 440 running, good. Yeah, Mason's here. Only says 2 people are here. What's going on tonight? I know it's late. Should have gone on earlier. I'll just throw this. Hey, Brandon. I think there are more than 2 people here. I don't know why it only says 2. Just going to do a little bit of cleanup here, get this thing organized, and I'm going to take apart that 268. Mostly because I don't have anything better to do.
cc's of not much right now. It will be something.
That's going to run when I'm done with it, but it's going to be a bit to get it going. Did the report on the 660 change anything? Well, that's kind of why Mason's here tonight, is to pick up the 660, so he's going to take that and mess with it tonight, and
Try and blow it up.
he's going to try to blow it up, yep. About normal. Why is there a ring here? What's that ring to? I don't know.
These things are all rubber mount. just like the rest of the 2 series. For some reason, I thought they had springs in them like the 288.
Well, you can change them on the 288. You can have spring. You can have rubber. You can have whatever you want.
Could you put the 288 things on this or no?
Maybe.
That would be interesting.
This is all the 372 stuff.
It's almost like a mini 390. 394 and 288.
Well, that's what the 394 is really not a 3 series. It's a 2 series saw. Because it's just like a swollen version of like one of those.
It even has a front tensioner and everything.
Yeah, if there's one thing I would do away with on that is the darn front tensioner. Certainly on the 394, 395, the front tensioners are annoying. If there was a way around that, I would do that.
What was that? A tensioner?
James wants to know, was that oak you were cutting with the 288? The video that you posted with the 064 and the 288 back to back, what wood were you cutting? Was that oak?
Ash.
That was ash. Right, because we're tearing ash trees down like crazy, so that's a lot of what
It's actually pretty nice stuff to test in. It doesn't have a lot of knots.
Okay.
But the problem is the chain dulls really fast.
Ash really dulls chains. Huh. I don't like ash personally because I don't like burning it because it literally disappears into ash. It goes poof and does nothing, as opposed to actually oak, which really makes nice, beautiful embers. Yeah. Hey, Craig. All right.
Have you burned hickory and other stuff? Because I burned hickory, and it takes a while for it to like really catch.
I have not done a lot with hickory.
It smokes a lot, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mainly get maple and oak here. For the most part, I'm not getting the woods or.
You can't really go wrong with those two, though.
No, I know.
They're the best.
Well, that's the wrong one.
Tulip is like pine. It's soft and.
Really?
Yeah, it's not really that special. It turns into ash, like ash.
Like ash, great.
But it's softer than ash.
Don't mind me, boys. I'm just looking for something useful here. That would be this. Yeah, ash eats full chisel, at least in my experience. I use semi-skip because you spend much time as filing as cutting.
I like semi-skip, too. I just wish they sold it around here more often. All they sell is full chisel, basically. Even skip is hard to find at like places around here.
So I think we can keep the top cover here. It's not in great shape, but it's not terrible. This looks beautiful.
Oh wow, it has a nice surface.
That looks nice.
Looks like somebody cleaned it for you.
Yeah.
I mean, usually aren't they a lot more dirty than that?
It looks like it's been cleaned. Yeah, no scratches on it, nothing. Of course, maybe nobody ever cleaned the air filter too. Maybe. Oh, it's old. It's
Nothing
not plugged.
got through, though.
It ain't plugged. Just old.
Ultrasonic cleaner.
Smells old too. Or smell.
It's not. Could get high off of that.
Alright.
Did those come with like different carburetors and?
Oh, I'm not.
Ones?
I'm not the guy to ask on that.
That looks like a Tillotson though, right?
Yeah, this is Tillotson. The 260 is the new one that I think I'm putting on here.
260.
And that's the one that I've got on the 272. And even stock, I had to adjust the pop-off pressure on that because it didn't have enough pop-off pressure.
And
It
how
was
do you
flooding.
tell? Really, it floods?
It just wouldn't lean out.
Really?
You even with the high screw fully in, it wouldn't actually lean
So
out.
it flows off enough gas.
It flowed a lot of gas. Yeah.
That's a big carburetor, is an HS, right?
Let's look at it.
It's like the HS is like the same as like the 660. That's a big carburetor.
Hey, Steve. So basically 4 wood screws here to take this thing off.
Wood screws.
Well, they're few screws.
It's simple though. Oh wow, it's got a throttle thing like the 288.
So these just come off.
Fuel line was perished. Maybe be able to reuse that, I don't know.
Oh man, that's a little tight. Yeah, let's get the top thing off. 2 screws on the side, 2 on the bottom. I think these are all gonked up.
Oh, it even has the original parts sticker under.
Parts only. Sounds like a Matty O saw to me.
Orange gold.
Orange gold, yes. Plus these are caked.
What has it got? Sawdust inside there.
Look at this. Hopland. So that somebody's marking this
CDF.
everywhere.
What does CDF stand for?
I don't know. Well, I doubt this is going to get in there. 1. I have to put that in the ultrasonic. How about this? There we go. Yep. Come on. Oh, crap. Nope, still needs more. I think we'll get a new screw for these. Okay. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. No. Screw extractor. Speed outs.
You always have a tool for everything.
There's got to be a tool for everything.
Reach in your handy-dandy toolbox.
Just want to show everybody what I'm using. Speed outs. That's what these are.
Are those like, can you buy those at like Harbor Freight or no?
Probably.
The knockoff or whatever. Those are like the real ones though.
These are, yeah. There's probably a number of people that actually make these, but. Okay. Go to the wider one.
Looking at that sprocket looks pretty nice in there.
Yeah, not much use, huh? Great. Bolts are stinking hardened.
But there is like cemented in there.
Why won't that go? Some funky flags on here. This, of course, is hard. Not quite file hard, but it's close. There's just something on here that's not allowing the this to actually fit in the hex.
Yeah, I don't think this carburetor has limiters on it, does it?
Probably not, no.
Yeah. It's a stubborn bastard.
Well, that's just with the with one end, and then I should be able just to grab it. Nope. Nope. Will the big one fit? Not quite.
How do those things work? You go forward and then you go backwards?
Yeah, basically if you go backwards, this bites hard. The more you go backwards, the more it bites. Theoretically.
Theoretically.
If you get it to bite, it's good. These are actually really nice.
I've seen them work. That's amazing how tight that is for plastic.
All I'm trying to do is drill a little bit of a chamfer on there, and then I reverse it and then get it to
screwed
bite.
into plastic. How tight can it be? You know what I mean? Want me to hold it?
Wow.
Think vice grips will fit on here though.
Well, another way to do it is grind a flat in it.
And then grab pliers.
This is not exactly how I was planning on
That's
my evening
stupid,
going
though.
tonight.
Have you ever had a handlebar screw that tight? Usually the plastic strips before it even gets that tight. And they say huskies have loose screws.
these,
right.
these have never been loose. Here, hold it down. Here, hold it. Nope.
Wow.
Okay. Next idea. I'm going to grind a flat on it and use a flat blade. Heck with it.
Two guys holding a freaking chainsaw just to get the handlebar screw.
Yeah. I'm just gonna,
That thing is in there tight.
I'm not even going to keep throwing with this. I'm just going to grind a flat on it, use a flat blade. Hey, David.
Did you buy anything on the Black Friday sale? Me neither. I kind of wish I did. I was gonna buy one of those pop-up pistons. So I could be like everyone else.
They had those 346 Warhawk heads on sale
Oh, wait, what? $10?
for like $20 or whatever for a piston
That's
and
cheap.
cylinder kit. Holy cow.
$20. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna pay $20 on the ground somewhere.
My boss did. My boss found $20 lying on the ground by the office in like Fairfield or whatever. Apparently, been there all weekend or something like that. Couldn't believe it.
Now, after we get that screw out, we can send it to Jason because he can still use it. Right? Still works. Screw it.
Perfectly good. Oh, wow, that is tight.
Holy shit.
That was tight.
Holy shit.
No wonder.
Question is it going to be stripped? Or you put another one in there?
I'll just use it again. What do you think? I'll put it right back in.
It might have just sat there for a long time. I bet it still works.
You could use a flat blade to put it down. I mean, you could. I just think that's kind of cheesy. I'm gonna throw it out just to, because that way there's no temptation. Hey, lost one.
That was funny. Took 10 minutes just to get it.
There's a friggin' screw just for the top handle. We didn't do anything fun. We just got the top handle off. Okay.
I bet it was just from sitting for a long time.
So now I've got 3,000 things here, which I got to clean up before I keep going here.
Did it do anything?
No, I'm good.
Now, when you were saying that you adjust the pop-off pressure, do you have a mini vac or something that you measure how?
Yep. You bring it up to like 25 pounds of pop-off pressure. It was like at 16 or 17. It was a little bit low, so I just stretched the spring a little bit.
Really, and then it brings. What do you want? Like, what's a number to shoot?
About 25 pounds.
Really?
Yeah.
And also, when you leave these out in the sun, you want the pop-off pressure to be tight enough so it doesn't flood the carb, right?
I guess.
Could
Or don't leave it out in the sun.
Yeah. Good.
And Tom's here. Hey, Tom. Lost one's here. Who else is here? Is anybody here that I didn't give a shout out to? We do have any tractor man. Hey, Pat.
Compression in there.
Well, we're not locked up.
Oh, it doesn't have a spark plug in it.
Yeah, here's the thing. On a saw like this, I'm not even going to think about trying anything. Hey, Darren. The 12-volt Bosch comes from Italy, eBay. The flex shaft is an old Black & Decker piece. Old Black & Decker piece. So this is buggered here. So it needs a new kill wire. I think.
What, it might eat it? Looks like somebody tried to make their own.
Yeah, it looks like a half DIY job. So...
Have you ever tried to make your own?
Yeah, I have. And it's like, they're not cheap to get the original ones, but it's really nice. It's like a nice touch on a build, to put a brand new kill wire on it. It
works.
Yeah.
I mean, they take forever to go bad, too, They last a long
Yeah, like
time.
30 years later. But still, if you're doing a build like this, having fresh and new is awful nice.
Like you said, if it's this old, the question is, when was the last rebuild?
Always the question is, when was the last rebuild?
Never.
And the answer is probably never, right? But that also means one thing: the price goes down. the price, you got to be real careful with stuff like this because you can spend a lot of money real fast getting something like this back together.
People want too much money for stuff like this.
Oh, everybody wants a pile of gold for this sort of stuff. It's just not worth it.
Because it costs more than it costs to buy it.
If somebody wants a pile of gold for something like this that's not rebuilt, tell them to go to eBay, and then they can find some idiot like me that'll pay too much money for it.
How much would you say golder like this is worth? 150 bucks. 100
Yeah,
bucks.
see, I think the going rate is probably like 100, 150 bucks for something like this.
Then you put 100 into it.
The realistic number on something like if it has compression, then yeah, you can probably get 150 bucks for it. But the realistic number would probably, the better number would be like 50 bucks. That's a better number. A lot better.
Because they probably spend 150 bucks
You're gonna spend a lot. You might spend, bearings, seals, rubber.
Is your time worth anything?
Assuming your time is worth nothing. There's all kinds of stuff on here that is just not a permanent piece.
And it's less, to me, it's less intimidating when it's cheaper. When the saw was cheaper in the beginning.
Right.
Because if you paid a lot of money, you're already, worried about cheaping out on everything else.
Yep. All right. Let's get the linkage off here. There's all kinds of ways you can go about tearing
This is
this
a
down.
pretty large filter, though. I mean...
Right. Well, that's the 394 filter. It's the same...
Does it really need an HD filter? I mean...
394 filter.
It's nice, but this is nice.
The HD filters are cool. What's the Husky 450 Rancher like? I don't know. I'm familiar with 455 Ranchers, which haven't changed in years. I don't know what the draw is to a 450 Rancher, but whatever. Best yard sales, old guys. 260 280 for 50 bucks a piece. No internet knowledge. 661 is locked up. I'm sorry to hear that, Brandon. You'll get it figured though. All right, so one thing to do on this is get the handle on it.
Locked up. Sometimes when saws are locked up, though, sometimes it can be something really simple. Screw back out.
Right.
I don't know. You just have to dig
into it. Might not be
it.
the head. It's not always the head that's at fault there,
Yeah, dig into it. That almost looks like a 372 clutch with a nut welded onto it, doesn't it? It's the same thing.
Take out all the AV screws.
That's the nice thing with Huskies, though, is you can mix and match a lot of the...
Right, a lot of the stuff ends up as mix and matchable.
Interchanges. Flywheel has all the fins in it.
Yep.
That's a good sign.
All the AV screws. Okay, there's one down here too.
I've never seen one of these torn apart, so I'm interested.
Damn. Again. Not again. Where's the other screw? It's here. Okay. I'll just get the coil off first.
FHP.
Sweden.
Seems like they had a lot of different brands for making coils.
Oh, these are the nice ones. Oh, check this out. So these are the M4 screws, but with a 4mm head. So the bigger head on an M4 screw. And they did the same thing with the 394 with these tiny screws, which makes really no sense. Why would you put M4 screws in a coil, which needs to be held. You know, it really is
That
kind
would
of silly.
strip out easy too.
Right. Tinman. Welcome. 17 people. Brandon, it is the head? I'm sorry, man. Sounds like you need a toolkit to split that case and put it back together. And by strange coincidence, I sell that sort of stuff.
So you weren't, because I remember the
Got it.
394. It does have like a 3mm head on it, doesn't it? Don't some of them have like a 3mm head, right? Instead of that bigger 4
Yeah, instead of the bigger 4. So it's nice to have the bigger head for sure.
Because those 3mm, you get strip out the head pretty easy.
And you gotta throw out that screw.
It doesn't make any sense though, to have a small screw though.
No.
Is there enough room to make it the net size up?
They probably wanted to make it a unique screw on the chassis, and that was the easiest way to do it. That's probably what they were doing, was like, we're going to make this unique screw for just this thing, and it can't be confused with anything else. That's the only thing that I can come up with in my mind as to how it was done.
Is there enough room to tap that out to the net size?
Probably.
We don't waste the time, but unless it was stripped out. I would almost think that they're trying to save weight somehow. I mean, how much weight does that save though?
I think the uniqueness helps. The uniqueness of that screw helps reminding whoever's assembling that this is what this is for, you know?
Same thing with the 372 brake flag thing, right? That little screw that holds.
Yep. So anyway, once the AV mounts are off, I think you should be able to pull the handle off here.
That went easier than the 660.
It goes easier than a 372, huh? Nice coating, huh? You gotta make sure all the AV mounts are good, and they are. These actually look like they're fine.
That's not rubber.
Oh, the rubber came out. Yeah, that's another piece that you need to get. Are these the not a baffle? This is a bellows. The bellows. These rubber bellows in here.
They break.
They break. So that piece needs to be done.
Just that hole in the top cover is where air comes from, huh? That hole in the top cover.
Yeah, I guess. But also, there's no jet on this. Make sure it's okay. Let's do the flywheel next. That'll be a separate job to clean that off. That rubber boot seems to be okay. So, check this out. One of the guys, I forget who it was, and forgive me for forgetting, but one of the guys, actually, Ken Small Engines, was talking about how to get flywheels off. And one of the suggestions was a different way than I normally use, and I think it's very interesting. So let's see if we can do something a little bit. 10, 11, 13.
Oh, hold it up.
No, not and hit it differently. I'll show you. Nice thing about the impact. So apparently, so here's the magnet side. I'm going to hold it from the magnet side up in the air, and I'm going to tap it on the fin on the non-magnet side.
Careful, right?
Careful,
yes.
Right? Not going to go hard. Nothing yet. Nope. It ain't coming. So I guess we'll go back to the old. That ain't coming either.
It wants to be a 394.
Oh, yeah, the 394s are by far the worst here. Well, then I can go to Kenny's method and use an air gun.
Ah. Another special tool.
Another special tool. Be right back.
Where the heck
Let me turn on the compressor. Where's my compressor line go? I think it's out of the shed. Okay. Oh well.
It's over there.
That's the other one. Okay. All right. Well, we may. We might get that to work. We might not. Doesn't matter. Let's tap it on the other side here just a little bit more. If it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, doesn't. Hey, Matt, what's up? Man. Nope. Don't want to go. Hey, Paul. How are you? Welcome. Hey, Paul. How are you? Welcome. Thinking. So let's give that a quick break. Yeah, I can heat the flywheel. I certainly can do that. One of the things about doing that, I got to pull the pawls off. That's one issue. Not that big of a deal, but if you can do it without pulling the pawls off, better. The other thing about doing that is you can screw up the magnetism. So I've done it. It's not that I haven't,
Those
but
little springs too, right?
you can screw up the springs. Well, that's why you take the pawls off with the springs. Yeah.
I didn't know that I could screw up the magnetism. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Supposedly.
All caps good.
Though buggered.
Somebody used their scrunch cream.
Somebody uses a scratch, yeah. So, me personally, I'll change out I'll change that out because I know I have better ones. But while we're waiting for the air to come up,
I don't understand why people have to tighten those things so ridiculously.
let's get the muffler off. All M4 here, so this is all. Gonna take the muffler bracket off first. That was easy. Because it's broken. Now the muffler bracket's broken. Okay.
Oh, it broke.
Yeah.
It's a nice size.
And the dog bolts are loose, so somebody had already started kind of tearing this down. They didn't loosen the flywheel for me, unfortunately. Would have been nice if they had loosened the flywheel. Jerks.
They probably would have gotten more creative though.
Yeah. That we don't want.
It would be nice if there was just a puller that was just thin enough just to fit behind the flywheel.
I know, and
Just
pop
like-
it.
How hard would it be to make something like that?
One day. So I'm going to put some of these screws here for the muffler bracket. I'm actually going to put them back in the muffler and back in the crankcase here. That just I don't want to lose them. That's all. Now I forget. I think this is M6, M5 instead of M6. No, 6mm. No,
The one
5mm.
The one thing I noticed with these saws, that's not a problem. In the 288 and the 262s, the oil's really good. They oil a bar really good.
Yep. Bob showed up. Hey, great. Can you put anti-seize on the crankshaft? No. No. You do not want to do that. And Tinman, you're right. If you have the proper puller, you can probably pop it right off. But since I don't, Tinman, I don't represent, super duper chainsaw guy. I represent average Joe doing this stuff,
Well, it's like somebody took off that plate.
Yeah, there should be a plate here, right? Yeah. Getting screwed up. Can't have everything. Yeah. Well, I'd like it. I'd like to have a puller. I certainly do enough of this stuff that it'd be nice to have a puller. Okay, so there's no deflector on here. This goes right to
Do some of them not have like a deflector?
a gasket and yeah, they don't always have deflectors.
The
I
muffler
don't.
must be just big and flat enough to
I guess I don't know.
direct the air. You know what I mean?
Talk about a restricted muffler, though. Look at that.
Yeah, about a quarter of an inch.
Right, it's not much flow at all.
Is there anything inside of it, or is it just? Wow, it's an empty can. That's surprising. It's completely empty.
Okay, so this is actually the head bolts are actually 1/4 20, and I believe is it 3/16 head. Yeah, Bob, we have special guest. Husky Boy is here tonight, also known as Mason.
394 uses those two, right?
Yep, 394 uses these also. It's like the one really it's the one standard thing on as opposed to metric. It's 1/4 20.
Those are pretty heavy duty, though.
They're really heavy head bolts, yeah.
Hard to strip those.
Really, yeah, really hard to strip. Made of a puller flat bar slot in it. The last one, I just haven't done it. It's one of those. The flywheel puller is certainly a project that I know I need to do. I just haven't gotten to it. You're not wrong. Boy, that slid out nice, huh?
That's not too bad. Oh wow, it's an open port.
Open port. Yep. So this is not an XP. This is a regular 268.
Yeah, 268.
Regular old 268. So the hard ones to find are the closed ports. This is an open port. And it's beautiful. Gorgeous.
It's interesting though how they did it quad open port instead of just
a little bit of a line up and down there. But look at this. Like the whole top is completely carboned. Like even carbon there. But look how beautiful it is.
Massive case capacity.
Yeah.
Compared to like, I don't know, some of the other ones. That's a big case capacity. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna run too sporty. Will import.
You know what? I am tempted now to not split this. Look how beautiful that is inside. You think
That looks clean.
You think it needs new bearings? I don't.
That thing's clean.
It's clean. That's
Maybe
beautiful.
just put new seals in it.
Yeah, the amount of time that this is run is like just nothing. So it would make sense to do new seals. Maybe a 272 head.
260 carburetor.
We should do a 272 head. Makes you throw it in the junk. No. Not junk.
I'm sure this runs pretty good though. It's just not.
Peter Call, hello. 20 people here. How's that? It's 9 o'clock at night.
Isn't it amazing how these harden like a rock?
Oh yeah.
I can't even get that off. Are they supposed to be like
somebody
that?
buggered that. Look, they put it on like with a hammer.
Even this is kind of buggered.
Yeah, I do want to split it, but I don't really need to. That's the thing. Like, this is all nice.
Even the cylinder looks pretty decent, you know?
The cylinder is very nice, yeah.
Jason.
Decent. From Trailer Park Boys? Anybody?
Trailer Park Boys?
Yeah.
I've heard of that series on Netflix. You know what's a really good series on Netflix that you should watch? Narcos.
Yeah, I haven't seen Narcos.
That is freaking good.
No, I don't know. I don't know if it would do it for me.
That's a pretty big intake hole. Like carburetor.
What I think I should do. Yes, I do want to split it, but what I really need to do is I really need to get new seals in here. And hey, Ralph, my favorite series, would not split it. Yeah, you know, I have the crank tools now that I've been working with for a long time to put this back together, so I'm not scared about splitting it, but I just don't think I need to. The amount of use that this thing is seen is so low that there's just no need to put new bearings in, you know?
That piston much from that.
Carly says, I split it and clean it up real good. You could. You know, you could kind of go either way. I just, internally in the crankcase here, it's so clean. It's just so beautiful in there. There's really no need to split it.
It's amazing how different that looks than this.
Well, here, let's take the piston off. Let me pop the piston off, and then we can compare the two, just to show everybody.
That would be interesting. Because I've never seen these side by side.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys. We're going to give you a look here. Hang on. I'm just going to take the piston out. Save the circlips. Don't get rid of those.
Those are nice pliers.
Well, this was Riley's idea. You know, I talked to him the other day. I should have asked him, because making these pliers was just like so stupidly brilliant, just so brilliant. Because grind a little bit of a half moon in there, and it hold that up to the light. You can see it. For grabbing rings, you know, you can grab clips like no problem
that's
with
probably
that
pretty
thing.
strong since it's tool steel.
Tool steel, yeah. And I love those pliers.
Where do you buy these things?
Those are Cooper X lights or whatever they are. I love them.
X light.
X light, XCELITE.
That is brilliant. Do you have one for ones without the ear?
Yes, I have one without the ear. I don't remember where they are. They're around here somewhere. Here, Yeah, here, I'll show you guys. So, here's, I mean, these have had lots of use, obviously. But Cooper X lights or whatever they are, 378M, 378M. Let's see, can you, if you tap it here, does it focus on my hand?
Can I make it
There.
bigger?
I don't know. You can try.
There we go.
Oh, can you zoom in on the tips?
Hold on. Trying to.
Whoa.
There, that's probably as good as it gets, I think. The red ones have that a little bit of a half moon in there.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see it.
You can see that?
Just at the very tip of it. And the other ones you don't, right? Because they're
right. The blue ones I have as regular pliers, but these I ground down on the outside and the inside so that they actually fit better for gripping circlips. Not my idea. I'm not taking credit for that. That idea was given to me by John Riley, and Riley had the video up and then he took it down. I don't know why, but
probably doesn't want to give up trade secrets.
Trade secrets, whatever. He actually shows a lot of what he does, so I don't know why that video was taken down. Maybe he didn't like the video for some other reason. But I loved the idea. I thought it was great. Where did the head go? I know, Mason's already stuck in his truck, probably. Put that with the head.
Wait, the head for the 268, where do you put it?
Yeah, the head for the 268. Where did you put it? Where is it?
It's not over here.
Like I said, Mason probably put it in his truck. Here it is. It's over here.
Oh.
Good. Okay. See, James is here. Okay. So James, as part of the conglomeration of wonderful things that you will eventually collect, that 268 head will be left here for you. I'm going to go try to stick this on there and see if it comes off. I'll be right back. Because I don't have a long hose. I guess we're going back to heat. Because that didn't work either, and I've got no idea why there's tons of moisture in my lines.
That's stupid. You can hit it on your phone.
now I'm going to put some of this stuff away. Where's my 3/16? 5, 3/16. Great. Pulling flywheels off. What a pain in the neck. I know. Need a puller. I know. Hey, Ralph. Yeah, what's going wrong with the teardown? I'm just, just a couple of quick snags. Not a real big deal. But some stuff is harder to tear down than others. Some of these flywheels have been on for 30 years, so...
Longer than I've been alive.
Longer than Mason's been alive. And some flywheels are really darn difficult to get pulled.
It's kind of nice how the steels have that thing in there, and most of them,
Yep.
I give it to them.
Well, that's certainly, that seems to be a makes sense idea,
Could you make a puller out of something that screws into these two bolts?
Yeah, well, that's what the guys are talking about, is essentially have a puller like that. Need to grip it just right, though. Hey, Boneyard. Probably about $15, James. So let's see. Again, I wonder if any of that knocked this loose enough so that I can now just do the tap, tap, tap thing again. Nope.
This is the tight saw.
Really super, super tight. Okay. Heat it. Great. Break out the torch. Again. There's my torch.
We get to light it on fire.
I know. I'm going to light something on fire.
Yeah, that extinguisher.
Probably not.
Is that map gas?
We're going to hear bing, and the whole thing comes right off without touching it. Hey, Larry made it? Larry, how's it going?
It's smoking hot now.
Yeah, I noticed. Just need to get this back. Actually, let's see if I can just pop it this way. Nope. Still not going the sideways route. Mega's here too? Fantastic. Wow. Probably one of the hardest flywheels I've ever taken off.
Remember that 394 I brought and they had to put seals on it? That took a while.
That took a while too, yeah.
Heat that one.
Take care, Boneyard. Don't all club at once.
So it takes longer to get the flywheel off than the result of saw.
There it goes. Now that like the crank is buggered and everything, but you know, whatever. Great.
So that on there good. Buggered.
Well, I gotta make sure that the crank is tight here. There you go. Well, then that's off.
Oh. I was about to tie him up. That seal is toasty. Can you chase those threads?
I can chase those threads. Yes, yes, yes.
What kind of question is that, David? Eh?
Right. Why are you asking?
Of course.
How dare you?
Of course. No, if this was Jason's workshop, you just grab a file. Do those have to be a special die or not really?
Not really. It's got to be the right thread, obviously. Alright, so what I need to do now...
Are those reverse threads or whatever?
No, it's a regular thread.
The clutch is reverse, right?
Yeah. See, what you actually need on this, though, all right, is something called a split die.
To get it started easy.
Yeah. To get it started straight. And then the die gets split, and then you basically just reverse it and back it off, and it comes straight. That's pretty straight. But now I need like
That's
bigger
hardened.
sock.
That's hardened metal too, so it's not easy. To...
Pretty straight.
When it get buttered just from hammering.
From hammering, yeah, whatever. Beat with hammer, fixed threads, and die. Yep.
It doesn't take much to just bugger it a little bit, huh?
Nope. Alright, so where's my half-inch? Problem is, a lot of my stuff ends up in these random toolboxes because if I go to a project outside or whatever, then stuff ends up in a random toolbox. just show you guys what I got going on here. Here's the die. Of course, I buggered the flywheel anyway. Oh, shoot. I buggered the keyway anyway. But that's not... That I can fix.
What kind of question is that?
I know. Also kind of a silly question. But I know. Why do this the hard way?
That's pretty cool.
All better.
Wow, those are sharp.
But now I got to take the flywheel nut and give it the heave because it's shot for sure.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever used that socket. That's the first time we've used that particular socket. Always have a socket set for something, you know?
27 millimeter.
27 millimeter. What's this one? 19. Put that away.
How many times can you use those tapping things before they're getting worn out?
I don't know. But I just don't use it that much. You know? This is a cheap set. This is not like... That's the die that I use. M8 by 1.0. So...
Didn't come from outer space.
Didn't right. Believe me, this is definitely not something NASA would be using. It did come from another country.
Was that two-stroke mix?
Ralph, I do have tools to put the crankcase together, but I don't have a flywheel puller. Even if I had a flywheel puller, this would have been a pain in the neck. I can tell you that this one definitely would have been a pain. BS has small engines. What's going on? Still seems pretty smooth. Hey, Larry. Yeah, everybody's good. Having a good old time.
Have you ever had a clutch be a pain in the ass to get off?
Some clutches are a real pain. The 394 clutches can be tough. The 262 clutches are tough.
Yeah.
The 262 clutches are really like the triple clutch there, the three shoe. Those are hard.
They got tight on you.
It's okay, Matt. Between all of us, we may have all the tools. Yeah.
So this thing just has two seals. It doesn't have like a...
What that gasket kit doesn't come with is the O-ring that's on the other side.
Come on.
I know.
Come
yeah.
on. They should have considered that.
So, yeah, what should we do here? It's just so nice.
Those are metal cage bearings, right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
You'll probably be fine with that 372 that they brought here.
They feel nice. These bearings feel nice. I don't, Matt, yes, thanks, Mega. I know that I need a flywheel puller. Appreciate that. All right. This flywheel nut is shot. Goodbye.
Bye.
Should we pull the seal and see how that goes? What do you think, guys? Do it.
Pull it.
Pull it. Okay. Twist my arm. So what I use for a seal puller is just a screwdriver that's been ground kind of to this point.
Yeah, you can see it pretty good.
I'm very trying. Yes, you are, Mega. Super trying. And you got to get inside the rubber. And you can go up against the crank. The crank is really strong. You don't need to really worry about messing that up. But you have to start lifting the metal, essentially. Bend the metal, lift the metal a little bit. And if you need to, you can even, like to get the whole thing started, just to get it to move, sometimes you can tap it in further. Like if you're working on one side, tap it in further on the other, just to get the seal broken.
Have you ever had one that was really like some saws it sits really deep inside? Like,
yeah, some are really down in there.
that's actually pretty deep in here.
And sometimes you can get these to fly across the room. Almost there. I know, these guys are going to be like, heat it, heat it, heat it. Where's the torch? What you don't want to do is you don't want to scratch the side of the magnesium. Small hook on the end, have washers, drop and crank pile. Yep. Here it comes.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What?
See the spring? Now, I would assume the spring just popped out just now. But if that spring has been out the whole time, then obviously that's bad.
Maybe that's why they shelved it.
James says split it, no heat. Okay. Just don't need to split it.
Those are metal cage bearings too, right?
Yeah, but you can look in there. Yeah, that's a cage. They look perfect. The bearing has almost no carbon on it at all. So
They look better than that 372 I brought here. Remember?
Yeah.
And those were fine.
Not gunked up, carboned up, nothing.
I think if they're metal cages, they should be fine. Like, they should last a long time in theory, right?
No harm in using the brake cleaner here. Okay, let's put some of this stuff away because we don't need it.
If they were plastic, if this was an X torque, yeah, split it, right? Does the 455 Rancher use metal cage bearings or are they plastic?
The 455 I think actually uses 6203s. Uses like really big bearings.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
They overbuilt that thing and
The bottom end is still funky, but it uses pretty big bearings, I think.
what about the 350, 346?
Where's the seals? The 350, those are all 6202s, so same bearings here.
And they're metal or plastic?
Metal cage. Except for the proprietary ones. The proprietary ones have plastic cage.
On the 346.
Yep, on the 576, 346, all those. All the proprietary bearings have nylon cages to them.
I suppose plastic could be okay if you take care of it. I
One way
still
to
don't
do it.
like it though. It makes you wonder though, why are they using plastic on like almost all of them now? Like all the new saws.
Why would they do that? I don't know. Here's a seal. Looks fine. Let's get the Coke can trick here going.
Have you ever done a 576?
No.
Mm.
I have no desire to do a 576. Zero.
I don't blame you.
Here, put that wherever you found it. So before I seat this, let's look at the, because I have to do this on the 394 also. Measure, should be about 5 millimeters. Just over 5 millimeters. 5.3. And then you measure the height of that. 9.52. So it's about 4 millimeters deep, and I won't hit the bearing. .576 is great, so it's not having carb issues or blowing up bearings. No. And there's the honest
A
thing.
love-hate relationship.
It really is a love-hate relationship. A little bit of grease there. And then I use anaerobic sealer on here. On the outside.
That's just for insurance, right?
It's just cheap insurance. Yes, we're calling it cheap insurance. Who doesn't like cheap?
That is a great question.
The only thing better than cheap, free.
Right? Yes, free. It's a rare thing.
Apparently it's rare. All right.
That's a nice tool.
This is the original crank tool.
Original.
I've been bashing on it for a while now. You see the end is a little buggered. It's just copper pipe. That's all this is. Make sure it's not going in wonky. Now you can get the original tool for this if you want. I'm just going to pull the Coke can out because we're deep enough now. I'm not really worried about it. See, it's down on the flat now, so could probably leave it there. .62. Let's take it to like 3 millimeters deep all the way around.
This is a nice saw though, because it lets you have a lot of play.
This is something else you can definitely build a tool for and make it so it's like super even all the way around.
So like it stops when it hits the thing.
Yeah.
I bet there's a factory tool, but
Of course there's a factory. Well, that the steel, the Husky crankcase tools that they have those hat things, and I'm willing to bet those are also seal drivers. Do you really need it?
Yeah. You could just weld a piece of flat on your neck.
Here it goes. What's going on? You could do, yeah, you could weld a flat anything and just make sure that it's exactly wherever you want to put it. It's not hard to turn a piece on the lathe. 3.3. 3.3. 0.4. 3.3. That's fine. So that's nice and even all the way around. Brand new seal installed.
No one, you could probably tell if the rubber was bad.
Feel the rubber. Is it hard or is it supple?
Still pretty simple, actually.
Not too bad.
I mean, not terrible.
That's not bad. Good for another 10 years.
Maybe this thing would have ran.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
The question is how long.
Will you clean it, Matt? Yeah, I'm going to clean the rest of this, yeah. Deep well sockets work. Yep, I use them too. Now we gotta go to the other side. But it's late. I would love to mess around with this with you guys, but it's late.
Oh shit, yeah. It's late for me too. Ah, it's a bugger. Could probably just hammer it.
Hopefully I can just hammer it back and it'll be fine. May need to put a little bit of sealant or JB on that.
Probably with all that hitting with the flywheel. Probably.
Yep, probably with all that hitting. So.
I wish. No, we're supposed to get
1 to 3, I think. 23 people here watching. There's 23 people watching us work on a 268 crankcase. I do kind of wish that we were splitting this, but there's just no need, guys. So let's call it a night. And if I can come on tomorrow's my day off. I actually work today, 8 to 7. So if I can come on tomorrow, we can certainly work on this a little bit more. But this is going to be a nice start to a project, I think. Not that I really need another project. Anyway.
8 to 7 is almost 16 hours.
Right. Almost 12.
It's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
It's a long day.
All day. So everybody, thanks so much. Appreciate it. BSS Small Engines. Have a great night. Mega. James, thanks for moderating. Beer Ghost, Bob, Tinman. Who else did I miss? Pat. Everybody have a great night. Be safe out there. We got snow coming in, so everybody be safe out on the roads, okay?
Yeah.
And special thanks to Mason for showing up, and we will talk to you guys later.
See you later.
Bye, guys. Bye, Tom.